Connie Bryan, and you're watching The Connie Bryan Show. Well, we're definitely going to get into it hot and heavy a little later in the show about the Mueller Report news. But first of all, there's a couple of other things in the news I wanted to touch on. Remember that Chinese woman, the Chinese national that the Secret Service caught trying to sneak into Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort? And they thought she was a spy because they caught her with malware and several thumb drives and cell phones. And they thought it was really fishy that she said she was looking for the pool, but she didn't have a swimsuit. Remember that? Well, it turns out she was being completely honest with the Secret Service. Yeah, they just misunderstood her. She wasn't saying she was looking for the pool. She was telling them she was looking for the fool. The fool. See, now that totally makes sense. And also, big congratulations are in order for Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House of Representatives, for winning this year's John F. Kennedy Profile and Courage Award. Now, she won it for three major accomplishments, the first one being her tireless, selfless work on healthcare reform. Secondly, for volunteering to do all the Trump diaper change duty whenever Melania was out of town. So that took a lot of courage. And thirdly, probably most importantly, for putting up with more than any other woman in government. All these years for having to put up with Joe Biden sneaking up behind her, in the halls of Congress and rubbing her shoulders and sniffing her hair. Settle down, Nancy, don't be scared. It's just Joe, just taking you in. Oh God, you have like a whiff of Chardonnay going on, hon. Yeah, I've always said you're like a vintage old bottle of wine. You just get better with age. And you'd be an expensive bottle of wine, wouldn't you? Yeah, I bet you would. Yeah, God, I just wish I could have been there for you. It's got to be, going on over half a century now when you first popped the cork? What? What did I say? I'm just connecting with you, Nancy. We're friends. We're both wine lovers. Can't we talk wine without it getting sexual? Settle down. That's it. Just relax. Yeah. Speaking of wine, I just happen to have my corkscrew with me. Can you feel it? What? What did I say? All right, stick around. We got a great show planned for you. Please, no channel surfing. We'll be right back. Hey there, thanks for tuning into the program. I'm Connie Bryan and you're watching The Connie Bryan Show. Well, we've got a great program in store for you tonight. A little later in the show, I'm going to be taking you live out onto the streets to talk to citizens and hear their reaction to the release of the Mueller Report. But first of all, this is the part of the program that we always like to welcome all of our viewers to the program in our respective markets across the nation. And I've got a big announcement to make. We just, this month, picked up 3 more access centers to add to our networks. I'm really excited about that. We added Truckee, Tahoe, and we added Napa Valley, and we added Santa Cruz. So I want to welcome them. We're actually going to go through the whole list right now like I like to do, and we'll get to welcome them as we go. We're going to start, of course, with Sacramento, our Sacramento viewers, where we emanate from. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and our Davis viewers. Thank you so much for tuning into the program. Also, our Berkeley viewers, we want to welcome you to the show. But one of our newest members we just picked up, welcome to our Napa Valley viewers for the first time. And then, of course, a little further over in the Bay Area, San Francisco. I want to thank you for tuning into the show, as always. We want to welcome Truckee, Tahoe, all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the program. Now we're going to go down to Southern California, and we want to welcome our Santa Barbara viewers, where I started this program over a decade ago. So thank you so much for tuning in. And we want to welcome our new viewers not too far from you in Santa Cruz. So thank you so much for picking up the show, Santa Cruz. And also we want to welcome Pasadena. Thank you for tuning into the show, as always. And Long Beach. I want to welcome all of our Long Beach viewers to the show. Now let's move outside of California. We want to welcome our Portland, Oregon viewers. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And then moving over a little to the more centralized part of the country, we want to welcome our Denver, Colorado viewers. Thank you so much for watching. And we also want to welcome our Minneapolis, Minnesota viewers. Thank you for tuning into the program. And our Washington, D.C. viewers. So thank you so much for tuning in, as always. And last but not least, just because we moved from the West Coast to the East Coast, we want to welcome our Salem, Massachusetts viewers. Thank you so much for watching. All right, this is the part of the program right now that we call Fun with the Newspaper. So I'd like to go ahead and get started because we got a lot to cover to get to our interviews on the street here in a little bit. Take a look at this first story here out of New York by Joseph Pisani of the Associated Press, entitled Amazon's Bezos, Wife McKinsey Finalized Divorce. Aww. It says Amazon's founder and CEO Jeff Bezos has finalized his divorce with wife McKinsey, who will end up with a stake in the online shopping giant worth $35 billion. McKinsey tweeted out that she has agreed to give Jeff all of her interest in the Washington Post and Blue Origin, the space exploration company that he founded. McKinsey also said she really wants to put an end to all the rumors that are floating around that she's divorcing Jeff because of the affair he recently had. McKinsey says she's not divorcing Jeff over the affair. She's divorcing him because after 25 years, she just couldn't take one more night of Jeff, climbing on top of her, trying to climax, singing his Amazon jingle. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Their jingle. Now you know where the jingle came from. You'll never hear it the same again. She couldn't keep lying to him anymore, Yeah, baby, I feel it. Give me the Prime package. Ship it to me for free. Just couldn't keep it up. All right, take a look at this story out of the Associated Press, featured in the Sacramento Bee recently, entitled Brexit Deadline Extended to End of October. It says European Union leaders and Britain agreed to a Brexit extension that will allow the United Kingdom to delay its departure from the European Union until after Halloween. What are they, 8 years old? I'm not making this shit up. They went out of their way. We want to stay through Halloween. I'll explain, what happened. It says the leaders of the remaining 27 nations comprising the European Union met for 6 hours until they finally agreed to let Britain stay until Halloween. But they told British Prime Minister May that she's still not invited to this year's European Union Halloween ball unless, on one condition, unless she agrees to cut off her head and come as the treasonous Marie Antoinette. And furthermore, they added, they told Theresa May to tell the Queen, no matter how good her candy is that she hands out this year at the palace, no matter how good her giant homemade dark chocolate truffles are that she hands out for trick-or-treat this year, she's got another thing coming if she thinks that we aren't going to plaster all of Buckingham Palace with rotten eggs and soiled toilet paper. All right, take a look at this story here by Mila Jasper of the Sacramento Bee, entitled Man's Missing $14,000 Turned into Auburn Police Returned to Drug Owner. It says the man had placed his bag of cash on the tire of his car and then forgot about it and drove off. Right. It's like losing your keys or your cell phone. I'm sure all of us law-abiding citizens have had that happen to us at some time or another. You need some walking around cash. You bring 10 or 15K with you in a bag and you place it on your tire and you forget about it. Fortunately for him, less than an hour later, a good Samaritan found the bag and brought it to the Auburn Police Department. One of the lieutenants for the police department is quoted saying, "I'm confident that there are many more people like her who would have done the same thing." Really? Really, Lieutenant? You mean bring in the bag of cash and say, I'd like to make sure this money gets back to the upstanding drug dealer who misplaced it. I'm sure they paid taxes on it and have plans to use the money responsibly as a business owner in our community. You think? How do you suppose that went to when the owner of the cash called the police department to report it missing in the first place? Yeah, dude, I need to report my bag of cash missing. Like, I don't know what happened. How much? Like 14,000? How did it happen? Dude, I don't know, I just got distracted, I guess. I was meeting with another dude in the alley behind the convenience store, you know? And then all of a sudden, my phone just like blew up, dude, with a bunch of other customers texting me, you know? I just forgot I had put the bag of cash from all my other previous sales on my car's tire so that I could look at my phone, dude. And the crazy thing about this story, because you're waiting for the payoff, you want to see if the lady gets a reward. They don't even say anything of whether the Good Samaritan at least got something from the dude. I mean, did he give her a free month's supply of weed or something? Don't recommend that, kids. All right, and last but not least, take a look at this story here by Adam Ashton and Jim Guy of the Sacramento Bee, entitled "Cities Sue State Over Marijuana Deliveries to Homes." The story says 24 California cities and 1 county are suing the state of California to strike down the newly passed state law that is now allowing pot retailers to deliver marijuana products to residents in their cities against the city's ordinances in California. Several angry California mayors spoke out on the matter, saying how they were hearing from a lot of their concerned citizens in their communities who really love their pizza, okay? And they feel like this is a clear and present threat to their pizzas ever being delivered in 30 minutes or less again. We've talked about this issue before on the show, and I'm coming back to it with this story. Because the next thing you know, once they do this and allow pot delivery with no regulation whatsoever, marijuana home delivery, forget about it, because Papa John's, Domino's Pizza, the Round Table, all of them are going to want a piece of that marijuana pie delivery action, you know? And then nobody will ever get another hot pepperoni pizza delivery again. The drivers will all be stoned, they'll all get lost, and if they ever do finally find your house, you know, and deliver your cold pizza, you know there's going to be a slice or two missing. So the mayor said, for the love of God, this cannot be allowed to stand. For the love of pizza. Because pizza is God. All right, we're going to get to our on-the-street interviews, people's reactions to the Mueller Report release. But first, I just have to say, you know you need a break from the Mueller Report news when you find yourself having this conversation with your significant other. You know, I can't believe you just blew off our anniversary to watch the basketball game with your buddies. Did you ever stop to consider my feelings that I might like to watch touchdowns and home runs with the basketball game too with you? But no, you don't want to watch the game with me. Am I charging you with a federal crime? Well, I don't know. You tell me. Just like Mueller, I sure as hell am not exonerating you. I feel like you're always just colluding and conspiring against me because you want to talk sports with your buddies, and I'm the only one trying to build a relationship. I don't even know you anymore. I mean, you're so color-coded and redacted. I mean, it's like I'm dating Bill Barr. Oh God, that's disgusting. But we're not going to take a break. We're going to move right into these great interviews on the street. You're going to love it. We're going to hear from citizens, their feelings, their reaction to the release of the Mueller Report. So stick around. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up. You don't want to miss it. I'm on campus here at Sac State. What's your name?
My name is Madison Loya. I'm a student here at Sac State.
Fantastic, Madison. So, what do you think about this release of the Mueller Report, and it's showing Trump's contacts with the Russians, and they're trying to help him get elected, and the obstruction?
I think that it just goes to show, it proves that he definitely should be impeached, and people should start making more moves on that. I mean, everybody's already thinking it, but nobody's doing anything about it.
So you agree with Senator Elizabeth Warren, who just came out calling for that?
She's actually one of the first senators to say that too, and she was brave enough to step up and say that he does need to be impeached, and I think that more people should be paying more attention to what he's doing.
Hey there, what's your name?
My name's Jaime Ramirez.
Jaime,
a student here at Sac State.
Student here at Sac State. All right. What's your reaction to the Mueller Report being released?
So parts of the Mueller Report that really interest me are some of the obstruction of justices that Trump has crossed. So what obstruction of justice really, to me, sounds like a high crime.
Yeah.
And for impeachment to actually happen, Trump needs to actually commit a high crime in order to be impeached. And since he's already obstructed justice multiple times,
Mueller lists 10 examples of it. That he was trying to block the investigation.
Yeah. So constitutionally, he should be impeached.
Hey there, what's your name?
My name is David Toston.
And you're a student here at Sac State?
I'm at Southern Oregon University for pre-med.
Oh, okay, for pre-med?
Yes.
And what are some of your thoughts on the whole Trump corruption, now that we've had the Mueller Report come out showing all the contacts with Russians? And
it's very interesting to me to see how easily people can manipulate the media and make sure that he is able to get out of certain situations. President Cheeto Puff hasn't been able to truly make a difference in the world itself, and with the report out, it just kind of shows who he is as a person, but the government is choosing to overlook it, and it's just...
So you think it's time for impeachment proceedings to start for sure?
Then past time for impeachment.
Past time
for impeachment.
So we need to get moving on it,
yes,
right?
we do, but luckily the elections are coming up, so we can truly make a difference.
That's kind of like at least a stopgap there with elections, but more and more Democrats are saying, hey, even if the result fails, we've got to stand up and take impeachment efforts with this person because on principle.
Exactly, and if we're founded on these principles, then why not uphold them? So if he can get away with it, then if we have another president similar or even worse than him, what are the standards? And if the standards need to be modified, maybe we should do it in an educational, informed way, so then that way, moving forward as a country, we can do it together.
Hey there, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Rich DeLoa.
Hey, Rich.
Hi.
So have you been keeping up with all the news with the release of the Mueller Report? What's your thoughts?
I've been trying. I was able to watch the summarized version of the report.
You heard about Barr's summary.
Barr's summary.
What'd you think of that?
A little disappointed. It seemed a bit truncated and maybe not so complete, and maybe jumping to conclusions as to what actually occurred.
Right. Now the release of the Mueller Report shows it wasn't at all what Barr said.
Was way more extensive than that, and it seemed to be a little brief and maybe not as complete as the American public deserved to be reported upon.
Hey there, what's your name?
My name is Brian Hodgins.
Hi, Brian. Where are you from?
I am from San Carlos.
Fantastic. So what are some of your thoughts with the release of the Mueller Report, the redacted version? What are some of your concerns now?
Too many redactions. I mean, too many redactions, and that we need Jerry Nadler and Adam Schiff to get every single word of that Mueller report. Maybe the entire thing doesn't need to come out to the public because obviously there are still ongoing investigations.
Right.
But at the very least, Jerry Nadler, Judiciary Committee members. For starters, that group needs to get the entire report.
See what they're hiding.
That's right. Every single word, every single document, supporting statements, everything. No brainer.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The majority of the United States people want the same thing. What those Republicans and Trump organization, what do those people need to be hiding?
How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Are you guys from Davis?
We are.
All right. And what's your name?
My name's Jim Frame.
Jim, and you are?
I'm Carrie Peters.
Carrie, nice to meet you guys. Well, Jim, what do you think about this since the Mueller report's come out? What are your thoughts?
Well, as I posted on Facebook today, I think the Democratic leadership in the House should basically continue with the investigations and the hearings, but then go right to impeachment. there's enough evidence in the Mueller report that they can make a solid case for high crimes and misdemeanors. Do the impeachment, get him impeached, it'll die in the Senate, and get it out of the way.
You're not confident that it's going past the Senate?
No. Okay. But it needs to be done. As a matter of principle, as a warning to future presidents, you can't get away with this kind of stuff.
Exactly. If you don't impeach for this, what do you impeach for?
And then we put it behind us and move on with policy priorities.
You've taken all my life. If not now, when? If this isn't a case for impeachment, I don't know what is.
You agree with that?
I do. I agree completely. And I was worried that there was a chance that there was risk in doing it at impeaching him. That everybody's afraid that what's that going to do. But I actually think that the people who hate Trump are going to hate him, and the people who love him are going to love him, and the numbers aren't going to change just because the House moves to impeach him. And so
even if the Senate doesn't confirm, but by that time we may have a lot more stuff that's come out that we start getting more Republicans going.
Possibly. Okay. I just think for historical reasons,
he's very skeptical.
It's the only outcome. They've got to impeach just for historical reasons.
We're down here at the state capitol in Sacramento. What's your name, sir?
Mark Tuskevich.
Mark, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I understand you were a former politician?
I ran for office.
Ran for office.
I was the Democratic candidate for Ohio's 2nd District.
Fantastic. What are your thoughts now that we've had the Mueller report, at least the redacted version, come out? What do you think needs to happen now?
Well, I think Mueller was clear that he wanted Congress to act on this, and I think it's at Congress's court. Honestly, there were so many impeachable offenses on there.
Right.
I think Congress should just, a lot of folks are on the fence whether we should go down the impeachment route, but I don't think we have an option. I think it's really important that we exercise the Constitution and actually have a debate and have it.
If you don't impeach for these things, what do you impeach
exactly.
for, right?
Exactly.
Hey there, what's your name?
Hey, my name is Peggy.
Hey, Peggy. So you've been keeping up with this whole Trump situation and the corruption, and now the Mueller report coming out. What do you think?
I think that the AG needs to be fired.
Absolutely.
Yes, he does. He was hired just for this so that he could give Trump a favorable comment. And
right, he's acting more like a consigliere for a mob boss than he is the American people's attorney, right?
And he needs to be impeached.
Because that's the big thing this report showed, is the opposite of what he had said in the summary.
Absolutely.
So you're totally on board with let's get with it. Let's get this guy impeached.
Yes, he needs to be impeached.
Hey there, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Jackson.
Hey, Jackson.
Hi.
Are you from Sacramento?
No, I'm from California, but just like 2 hours outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts regarding Trump now that the Mueller report has come out?
It's just gotten worse. I honestly think that he was awful to begin with, but now that there's substantial proof that he really has done awful things.
Yeah, and all those connections with the Russian.
Completely, yeah. To go on his moral standings and just everything that he's done, along with these like substantial pieces of evidence, it just shows that he's really not meant to lead our country.
Absolutely. And would you mind reading that one quote from Mueller,
sure.
that pretty powerful quote that Mueller put in the report?
The conclusion that Congress may apply obstruction laws to the president's corrupt exercise of the powers of the office accords with our constitutional system of checks and balances and the principle that no person is above the law.
He actually says right there the corrupt exercise of power. So he's clearly telling Congress, I'm giving it to you to act on it. Thanks.
Hopefully they'll do something.
Yeah, this is, there's clear abuse of power. There's clear, crimes committed, and we need to hold our presidents to higher standards.
Absolutely. How has it gotten this far? Is the thing? Now,
exactly.
Even Mueller himself says in the report that impeachment should be considered for the president's. How did he put it? His abuse of his powers. He actually states that.
Yep, he does, and it was only the opinion that held him back from was it the
DOJ policy. We get a little background noise, but we can hear you.
Yeah,
the DOJ policy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was because of the policy. He didn't actually indict the president, and I think it's clear that he wants Congress to do it, or that's the next step.
Exactly.
To put it in Congress. He laid out the facts. He documented what happened, and it's time to move forward and let the chips fall where they may.
Hello, my name is Sarah.
And you are?
Hello, my name is Anna.
Hannah, and you are?
My name is Marta.
Martha, and what do you guys think about Trump?
We don't like Trump.
And where are you guys from?
No good things about Trump. We are from Spain.
From Spain.
Yeah.
Welcome to Sacramento.
Thank you.
All right. So you're definitely not Trump supporters. You think he
In Europe, people don't like Trump.
In Europe, they don't?
No.
And why not? Why not?
Why not? He's a rich man, very... I don't know. Very selfish.
Very selfish.
Selfish and have a lot of money and don't like poor people.
The way he treats women.
Yes. He's a very bad man.
Very bad man. And that's pretty obvious.
Well, he's narcissistic and he's a moron, so I can't believe people follow him. But I didn't need the report to know what we need to do, what needs to happen.
It was just icing on the cake for us.
Well,
to know.
it's good to have that, and that's going to be something that can be used, I'm sure.
And one of the big things about it was it showed how dishonest Attorney General Barr was with the summary of the report, because now we're seeing Mueller's, condemnation and damning evidence that he makes it clear that he was hamstrung by their policy of not indicting a sitting president. That's the reason he didn't take action and wanted to give it to Congress. And then you have Barr with the summary trying to say that the complete opposite.
Well, he's not above the law, and he can't. He can't. What do you call it? Pardon himself.
Right.
It's just not possible.
Right. So you think we're going to see? Well, let me ask it like this: Who would you like to see elected in 2020?
I don't know yet.
Candidate yet.
I don't know yet.
All right.
Not a Republican, obviously.
How would you feel about Bernie?
I saw him in Berkeley in a restaurant one night, so that was pretty cool. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see.
Don't have an opinion quite yet.
No, not yet.
All right.
Just not a Republican.
Am I charging you with a federal crime? Well, I don't know. You tell me. Just like Mueller, I sure as hell am not exonerating you. I feel like you're always just colluding and conspiring against me because you want to talk sports with your buddies, and I'm the only one trying to build a relationship. I don't even know you anymore. I mean, you're so color-coded and redacted. I mean, it's like I'm dating Bill Barr. Oh God, that's disgusting.